Maggie, I keep trying to come up with a good pork pun, but I just keep hamming it up. You got anything?
I do have a really good one.
All right,
ready?
let's hear it. Yeah.
What do you call a fancy pork dinner?
I don't know what.
Swine dining.
That's good. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of At the Table. Today I have with me Miss Maggie Love, and she's going to be talking to us a little bit about the pork industry here in North Carolina. So I'm going to turn it over to her now.
Thank you, Jessie. So like she said, I'm Maggie, and I'm the intern here at Bladen County Extension this summer. I'm born and raised on a farm in Robeson County. And so I've been in the agriculture industry a while. I'm now at NC State. I'll be a senior in the fall. And so a little bit about the pork industry here. North Carolina is actually third in the nation for pork production. So I thought that was pretty cool for a small landmass of state to be that high up. And a large amount of that is here in southeastern North Carolina. Most of those being family farms where they grow for contract producers. And one of the coolest things to me about it is just how it works together with all of agriculture.
That's really cool. So what makes, are there, how does the pork industry help other industries in ag?
Sure. So if we think about it, all these pigs have to eat, and they're eating a lot of feed. And so that supports our grain industry. So corn and soybeans from North Carolina will go into our feed. But our industry is so large that we even buy grain from the Midwest. So to make that feed. And then on the other end, their byproducts will go on to spray fields that might be used for hay or for pasture for cows. So that's just three of our large industries working together in very sustainable process.
That's very cool. Very cool. So you said you go to NC State. What is your degree? What's your major?
Yeah, so I'm in poultry and animal science.
Okay. So is there one animal you like working with more than others, or?
So that's probably the $1 million question. Everybody wants to know, what's my favorite? Well, I don't really have a favorite. They're all different, and I love them for different reasons. I've had internships in the poultry industry and in the swine industry. I've had cows my whole life. So I love all of them for different reasons. They're very interesting.
All right. Didn't know if you had one that you love more than others.
On different days, yes.
Yeah, right. I understand that. Absolutely. So since we're talking about the pork industry, we are going to feature recipes today that have pork in them. Our recipes, we're going to do pork tenderloin medallions with asparagus with balsamic glaze and Parmesan cheese, some garlicky rice, and Maggie here, she is going to fix a stuffed pepper casserole with some cilantro, lime, corn on the cob. The meat in the stuffed pepper casserole is ground pork. All right, so let's get started. We'll just kind of, talk back and forth.
Yeah.
Before I start with the pork tenderloin, cutting that up, I'm going to go ahead and trim my asparagus. You want to make sure you trim the ends off because they get kind of stringy, very fibrous. So I like to cut off a piece about like that, about 2 inches from the bottom. And you can discard these, you can put them in your compost, throw them out. Would chickens eat asparagus pieces like this? Okay, so if you have chickens, you can throw them out to your
goats,
chickens.
Anything.
Oh, okay. So,
goats definitely will.
Yeah.
Mine do.
I feel like goats are garbage disposals.
They are, for sure.
Yes. All right, so I'm gonna grab this little platter here to set these asparagus aside. And now I'm going to grab our pork tenderloin. So what I have here is a pork tenderloin, and we want to make sure we trim off all of like the fat. We don't want too much fat on here because a lot of people think, well, is pork healthy? Is it not healthy? Bacon, probably not your most healthiest option, but we all love it. Don't get me wrong. But whenever you're looking at pork, try to go for your leaner cuts. So like a tenderloin here, you can trim off, extra fat. So like this piece here, I'm going to trim off. And you just kind of want to run your knife underneath it. And don't use a big old chef's knife like this, because then it makes it hard. But you can kind of like peel it off if you need to. Nope, that's not going to work. So just keep cutting it away. And you don't have to cut all of it off, we don't want large amounts of fat on the meat. People argue with me all the time, well, fat gives it flavor. Yes, this is true. But herbs and spices also lend lots of flavor. Are there certain, cuts of pork or beef that you like more, or are you just kind of like whatever?
Well, I'm not super picky. I'll really eat anything, but you really can't go wrong with the steak. Truly.
All right, yeah. I can agree with that. All right, so I'm going to cut this tenderloin, whenever I get this fat off, into about 1/2 inch to 1 inch pieces. Okay, we want small, like just circles, medallions. Okay, and then we're going to heat oil in our pan over medium high. So we're going to keep working and take a quick break and be back in just a few minutes. Hey guys, Sydney and Jesse here from At the Table. Are you enjoying the show? We want to hear from you. We have a quick survey where you can tell us things you've learned, recipes you've tried, and how the show has impacted you. You'll be entered into a grand prize drawing. Check out our link or scan the QR code for more info. Thank you for tuning in and cooking with us at the table.
Looking for training that leads to a high-demand, high-paying career? Bladen Community College can help you get there. Enroll in our welding program and gain the skills and expertise needed to excel in the industry and secure a successful future. Explore our HVAC program, where you will learn to install and service energy-efficient systems to keep homes and businesses comfortable year-round. Learn more at bladencc.edu or give us a call to get started today.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So I am seasoning the little tenderloin medallions. You can see here how I've cut them. They're about 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick. And you can season these with anything you want. Make sure you have your staples like salt and pepper. You can do garlic powder with paprika. You can do oregano, anything you like. We're just gonna keep it simple today, and we're doing salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. Now season these very well. I've already done one side. And then we're gonna get them into this nice hot pan, although I'm gonna have to turn my heat down because it's just a little too hot. My pan's smoking. You don't want that. Don't get it to the point where your oil is smoking, because at that point you're breaking down the oil, and that's not good. All right, so off the heat, I'm just gonna start adding these in. And you're gonna cook these about 2 minutes per side. We want a good sear on the outside of these medallions. All right, there we go. If you have a lot more, try not to overcrowd your pan. All right, I'm gonna keep it just like that. Key here is don't be tempted to move it around, okay? Let it do its thing, let it sear, let it build that crust. So while that's doing its thing, I'm going to start on our asparagus. So to that, you want to warm a medium pan over medium-high heat. Oh, let me grab a lid, because a lid is important here, because we're basically going to be steaming the asparagus. You want to, you can talk, Maggie.
So while she's doing that, I'm working on the stuffed pepper casserole. I've got the ground pork is in the pan and I'm browning it. Is that the correct term, Jessie?
Yes, yes. So even your pork, you're still browning it.
So I'm working on cutting up the peppers. I've already diced an onion to add into that once that pork gets good and browned.
All right. So you can check your meat to see if it's ready to flip, if it can be easily moved. All right. Yeah. See there, you got a nice golden crust there. Flip those over. And the good thing I like about, or the thing I like about these is you can cook these inside here in your pan, and then we're going to transfer them to the oven to finish cooking. Or you could very easily do these on the grill, and you could completely skip this step here. All right, so like I said, we put the lid over the asparagus because we're just going to let it steam for a couple of minutes, 4 to 5 minutes.
I think that's probably browned enough, Jessie.
Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect.
So we can go ahead and add in the onions and the peppers and the seasonings. So I also assume the seasonings are kind of to your liking in this?
Absolutely, absolutely. With this, today's recipe, we're using just salt, pepper, paprika, and oregano. But you could absolutely add like chipotle seasoning, some red pepper flakes to give it a Mexican feel if you wanted to. You could change it up and add in Italian seasonings for more of an Italian flavor. Sky's the limit. It's up to you what you want to do with it. It's very versatile. All right.
I like that. You can kind of make it your own.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so I can easily move these little medallions around. So I'm going to transfer them to a baking sheet here. And then I'm going to add the last 3 and let them kind of sear up as well. You want that nice golden brown color. Like this is a perfect sear. All right, set this back to the side. Add our last 3. And always you want to hear that sizzle whenever you put the meat in. Very good. I'm going to move my cutting board out of the way. All right. So now it's going to check on the asparagus. Very nice. Yes. So you can see here the steaming has really brightened up the color of the asparagus. It's very vibrant. And I don't know about y'all, but I like crunchy vegetables. I am not a soft veggie kind of girl. All right. I'm just going to take the lid off and kind of let the water evaporate from here. And then what I'll do is I'll transfer these to a platter. I'm going to season them with salt and pepper. And then I will drizzle with balsamic glaze and shaved Parmesan cheese. And then Maggie's going to finish up here with the casserole, and we'll see you guys back in just a few minutes.
Hey guys, this is Frankie with Owens Home Furnishings. Did you realize we sell custom sofas? We have almost 1,000 fabrics and hundreds of different styles.
Did you know that Owens Home Furnishings has a sleep retreat mattress gallery?
Did you know here at Owens Home Furnishings, we sell and install Mohawk flooring and do free estimates?
Did you know that Owens Home Furnishings has free in-town delivery?
Small, local, and family owned. Why would you shop anywhere else? Come see us at Owens Home Furnishings.
Providing fewer commutes, more backyard offices, and crystal clear meetings. Providing less, you froze up, and more presence in your presentations. Providing a better internet experience. Providing possible.
Ready to turn your creativity into a career? At Bladen Community College's Cosmetology Department, we're shaping the future of beauty one student at a time. From hairstyling and makeup to skincare and nails, you'll gain hands-on experience with real clients, expert instructors, and industry tools. Your career-focused degree or certificate in cosmetology is waiting. Learn more at bladencc.edu or give us a call to get started today.
All right, we're back, and I've got the pork medallions into the oven, so we're gonna finish them off there. That way it doesn't get too brown or too dried out. It's just gonna cook through. You're gonna cook them for maybe 20 to 25 minutes, just depending on the thickness. You want to cook them until they reach an internal temperature of 145 degrees. And then after you take them out, of course, let them rest for at least 5 minutes. Cover them, lightly with a little bit of foil and let them rest. So I've taken out the asparagus, and I'm just going to sprinkle lightly with some salt and pepper. You could absolutely add some garlic in here if you wanted to, up to you. Again, these are very versatile dishes that you can create and make your own. How are you doing over there, Maggie?
Yeah, so I got the onions and the peppers added in, all my seasonings. Let that cook for about 8 minutes and then added in the tomato paste. I know we don't really have to have these vegetables cooked all the way through, right? Because we're going to put it in the oven later.
Yes.
And so working on that cooking, so I'm going to start on my corn. I'm going to mix up my butter for the corn and start on that.
Good, good. And here I'm just drizzling the asparagus with a little bit of balsamic glaze. I've got some shaved Parmesan here, and I'm just going to kind of break it up a little bit and then sprinkle it over the asparagus.
I'll borrow that garlic from you, Jessie.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Take what you need. I don't need it
Thank you.
quite yet.
I'm going to put about 2
Awesome.
teaspoons, but really however much garlic you'd like.
Me, I'd probably put more than that, but I'm a garlic lover, So asparagus is done. I'm going to start working on our garlicky rice now. This is a great recipe where you can pre-cook your rice. If you're doing a lot of batch cooking or pre-cooking, go ahead and fix enough rice that you need for the week. And then you can use this rice for dishes like the garlicky rice, and even in this stuffed pepper casserole. So great way to kind of skip a step in the cooking. So I'm going to add just a little bit of garlic here. A whole lot of garlic, actually. And stir this around just enough to get the aroma going, to open up that garlic. Very nice. And here we're doing just salt, pepper, and paprika. So I'm going to go ahead and add this in because the oil and the heat is going to help activate that paprika. So we're blooming that spice is what we're doing. Stir that all together. Very awesome. That looks good. The color is changing. It's turning more of like a golden, rusty color. And that's what you want. So here I've got my rice. It's about 2 cups of cooked rice, and I opted for brown rice here to make it a healthier option. You could use any rice that you want. You could do brown rice, white rice, basmati, jasmine, whatever you have. And then you just stir this all together. And you're basically going to cook it long enough to heat that rice back through. And heat it up again. I'm gonna turn my heat down just a little bit more because I don't want anything to burn. And then that paprika gives it a nice color.
So I've taken mine off the heat.
Yes.
And I'm adding in the can of drained, I'd never seen these before used, but the fire roasted tomatoes.
So they've come up with all sorts of different flavors for diced tomatoes. You've got like garlic and onion now, you've got the Italian, you've got fire roasted. It just adds a little extra flavor to the tomatoes so they're not so bleh.
I like that. So I'm adding those. I'm adding in the vegetable broth and then the rice that Jessie was talking about preparing earlier.
Now, I looked at different options at the grocery store. I saw that there was a bag of the pre-cooked rice, you know, the little microwavable bags. And it was okay because it was brown rice and there was no sodium in it, which was great. But it was $1.49 whenever I could get a whole bag of rice and just go ahead and cook it for multiple things for less than $1.49. So, yes, it's convenient, it saves on time, but just go ahead and buy the regular rice.
And economical.
Yes, yes.
I like it.
Yes. All right, so I've finished up the rice here. We're going to get the casserole mixture into a baking dish, and we're going to cover it with lots of mozzarella cheese. So we're going to do that. And we will show you guys the corn and our finished products whenever we come back. See you soon.
If you're a small business owner or prospective entrepreneur, the Bladen Community College Small Business Center is here to help you. They offer free seminars to help you start or grow your existing business, and one-on-one counseling and assistance is available if needed. They can also provide you with community and statewide resources. Best of all of these services are free. Let the Bladen Community College Small Business Center help you turn your dreams into reality. Contact the Bladen Community College Small Business Center today.
Computer viruses, malware, and ransomware are out there. They're dangerous, and they can steal your identity and damage your equipment. Star Communications is now offering Protect IQ. The service adds an extra layer of protection to every device connected to your network, working quietly in the background. Star can help you protect yourself from the inside out with Protect IQ. Call Star today and take advantage of this free service when you sign up for whole home Wi-Fi with Star Communications.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
Hey y'all, we're back and we've got the casserole in the oven and Maggie's going to show us how to prep this corn, which I'm super excited about.
So I went ahead and put our butter mixture together. We've got the butter, the garlic, salt and pepper, and we did lime zest, right?
Yes.
And then juice as well.
I think we did about a half of a lime.
And I'm just going to take it and spread it on the corn. Maybe make a little mess while I'm doing that.
If you don't make a mess in the kitchen, are you really cooking? As long as you have someone to clean it up.
Know how to do it.
Right, right. So while she's getting that on, I'm just going to show you the pork medallions. So I took them out of the oven, put them on a platter, covered it with foil so it could rest. Remember, rest is very important. And here they are. So they're done. They were perfect temperature whenever I took them out. Any of the juices that I had left in the pan, I just drizzled on top, you know, because that's flavor. We want flavor. So this is ready to go. We've got our rice, we've got our asparagus, and yeah, you just wrap the corn up in some foil and you pop that in the oven. You can also do the corn on the grill as well, just like if you wanted to do the corn with the medallions, throw them both on the grill, that's perfect. So, all right, we're gonna bring out the casserole so you can see that. There you go. It smells really good. I know I've said it before, but I wish there was some way that we could send smells through the TV. Ooh, that would be amazing. So this is what you want. It's nice and bubbly and browned in places. This is perfect. All right, you want to grab out some of the corn that's in there. So not everybody likes cilantro, so I opted to not have the cilantro mixed in with the butter. If you like cilantro, go ahead and mix it in with the butter. But if you have those that don't like cilantro, leave it out, and then you can just sprinkle the cilantro on top of the corn once it's done. With the corn in the oven, you're gonna heat your oven to about 400, 425, and you're just gonna let them cook for about, 20, 25 minutes. And there you go. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. And then you just sprinkle it with a little bit of cilantro, and it's all done. These are very easy. This casserole here, you could absolutely make ahead of time and stick it in the fridge before you add the cheese. You could add the cheese too, but just put some foil over it and add it in. It's just a good twist on the traditional stuffed peppers. Not as much work, I think, because there's a lot to prepping the peppers for stuffed peppers. So, yeah. So thank you, Maggie, for coming in and helping me today. We can't wait to dig in and test this out and try it. Good luck in the coming year.
Thank you.
I know you've got, another year?
One more year undergrad, yeah.
Right. So are you going to go for your master's, or not sure yet?
If everything goes as planned, I hope to end up in vet school one day.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Nice. All right. So maybe in a few years we can go to Miss Maggie for all of our vet needs. All right. Well, that's all we have for you today, and we'll see you again on At the Table.